Those of you that have joined us online will be starting a few minutes late. So the stream is working. We'll probably starting about 5 after 4. Thanks. Okay, for those of you joining us online, we're about ready to open the meeting. So, Missy, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, we'll go ahead and call our special meeting of the Wayne County Board of Education to order. It is 4:04, and if you'll stand, we'll say the pledge. It's behind us here.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record show that all board members are present in person except for Mr. Ross, who is ill and will not be with us this evening. And we can begin with our local school improvement council presentation from Lavalette.
Sure. Welcome to Lavalette. I appreciate you guys being here, and a lot of my members of my LSIC committee are here. I do want to give a shout out to Miss Michelle and Miss Starr. They're the ones that prepared the food for you guys tonight, so thank you so much. They handle all the hospitality, so we appreciate it. So I did print out our report for you guys so we can go over that. Enrollment for this year is up. We have 240 students. That's up from last year. So we are increasing. It seems like our lower grades are really where the enrollment is coming in. Our kindergartners are sitting at 23 each right now. And 22 each, and we just got two new kindergartners in today. So that's where we are there. Our low SES, according to the GPS, is 65.64%, and then we have a 29%, almost 30% special ed population. With our new enrollments, we are seeing most of them are coming in with some type of IEP or 504. The last, I would say, 5 enrollments have all either had a 504 or an IEP. So that special ed is up. The report on our summative is there. You can see the trend data. There is a slight raise from the previous year from last year. So we do feel like we're growing and moving up. We did, and I'll kind of talk about that next, or I can talk about it now. We have for years in 3rd, 4th, and 5th just felt like we've just been stagnant. So this year we did try and departmentalize our 3, 4, 5. So we did do that, as well as all of our special ed in 3, 4, 5 are being co-taught. So we don't have any pull out for our learning disability students in 3, 4, 5. And I'll kind of show you what we're seeing there. So on the top there is our scores just broken down by grade. And then you also see our fall and winter benchmark scores. That's just a table. I like to see it with the color, so you see that next. And I've kind of put it out like they do at our data meetings. It's all, and then our 504 kids, and then our IEP kids. Those IEP kids, according to our state report card, have put us as a targeted school because they haven't shown the growth that they've needed, the sample size that they've needed. So we're kind of really targeting those. Another reason why we decided to departmentalize and co-teach those 3 through 5 classes. So as you can see, it's a lot of numbers, but our ELA from fall, we were 13% proficient, and our winter now is 31%. So we are definitely moving up. If you look at our IEPs going across, they might not be proficient, but they're moving categories. We had some move, 2 categories or even points to move up. So we do see them moving, whereas in times before they've just kind of leveled out. Math is the same way. We went from 4% proficient to 27% in the winter. Again, we do see some of those IEP kids moving, and those 504 kids are moving as well. So you'll see that. And then the next page is our science. They're getting a whole class of science, 45 minutes of science this year, every 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade kid, even though 5th grade just tests, but every kid is getting that science curriculum. So we went from 18 to 30% there. So our targets are next, and you can see our target for 2025 in math is a 37, and we're at a 27 right now. So, we hope that trajectory of that growth keeps going. And then our English language arts is at 48, and we're at a 31 right now. So it's getting harder to motivate those 3 through 5 kids. We just had meetings last week. We've pulled out, they have a separate class for reading, a separate class for writing, and then they have a separate class for like English, grammar, things like that. So, we were hoping that with those separate classes and with them transitioning, we could do more and keep them rolling, but we are still seeing that is a struggle point for us. We did meet though last year and create an action plan according to that data to see what we need to hit and what we need to do from there. So next is our IRL levels, and you can see many of those have grown. Well, all grade levels have grown, but you see it remarkably in our K1-2. I contribute that a lot to my teachers, but then also my Title I. She goes in there and she works her butt off to get those kids where they need to be, and it kind of evens out there in 5th grade. And to be honest, they just need a swift kick right now because they're feeling themselves right now. So our strategic plan goals go along with the IRL. So our goal is 60% of our students will be on grade level based on IRL by the end of the year. According to the second benchmark, we're at 49%. So we're hoping to keep that going so we can hit that. And then also the math is our goal is 60%, and we're at 49 there as well, according to the STAR. So we're hoping to keep moving. Next is our attendance data, and you can see our chronically absent. Our percentage in the winter has gone down, which is a little crazy to me because of sickness and things like that. But we are counselors here. She's been doing those ASAP meetings. They've had 2 so far, and both of those attendance seems to be getting better. She's doing perfect attendance drawings, no tardy drawings. They're doing monthly character ed celebrations. My secretary is doing daily calls. Our social worker is doing home visits. I'll even do home visits. I'll go and pick them up if I have to. And then we also have a attendance committee. They chose to be on that, and so we meet on those PL days that we're here, and they talk about incentives that they can do and things that they can do to kind of help our attendance. So discipline report on our out-of-school suspensions. We adopted the progressive discipline plan. So, at the beginning of the year, we went over all the steps and what happens and how we do that, because we didn't, we wanted them to know ahead of time, like, if you do this, we're going to do this. So that's kind of there. They do think about it slips first where they go in at recess. I've got a K2 teacher and a 3-5 teacher, and they meet and they reflect on why they're in there. And they talk about that, and they do reflection sheets, and those go home. We make phone calls home. They'll have detention with me for the full lunch hour if we get to that point. I also have a discipline committee on there. They, again, chose to be on that committee. So on those days that we meet, they analyze the data, and we also started what we're calling DSAT meetings. So it's discipline SAT meetings, where we call in the parents and we meet with them. So we've had 2 of those so far, 3 of those so far. And we just keep moving on that. And then you can see our discipline broken down. We've had a couple of in-school suspensions, but no out of school yet. Discipline always seems to be a tricky thing to me, and I always say it's like my worst area because, sometimes I'm like, I just don't understand why you're doing this, and it's harder to motivate them to do things and, things like that. But I have a really good support with me, and they come up with different ways. And when I go to the committee and say, this isn't working, they come up with other ways to help and to do those things. So that is our report on our our year so far, and I'm open to any questions that you guys might have for me.
So you said you were departmentalized now? through
Yes,
45?
yes.
And you've got like a writing class, a reading class, and just regular English. That's some meeting targeting that writing specific.
So, yes. So, we took our best writing teacher and we made her, she does writing along with social studies. But they do focus on that writing. She teaches a form of that. The thing is, so there's three types of writing that she needs to do. So she's gone over 2 of those. She's working on the 3rd one. Our scores, we just analyze them. They seem to be okay. They're not great. And we talked, I'd love them to be great, and she knows what she needs to work on from there.
It gives you a starting point.
Yeah. We talked about, a structure of things and, goals for each individual class. Maybe 3rd grade, we want to pump out 1 good paragraph or 2 good paragraphs. But then by 5th grade, we need to see 4 more paragraphs and things like that. So she's really kind of been able to look at that data and then plan for those individual classes. So she has some support that comes in to help her as well, because it's so hard to get to a whole class of writing kids, that are at different levels. So we make sure to pull them in to
Get your
support.
county curriculum support before they come in and
Yep.
help too.
Yep.
How is is anybody here using the new math curriculum? The Carnegie? How's that going?
Well, I personally don't care for it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's moving way too slow.
Slow.
Yes. I feel
That's
like
kindergarten.
It's kindergarten, yes.
Okay.
I feel like it's moving too slow and it spends too much time on some things. And in my opinion, that's not as important as other things. But it's not like that.
Anybody else utilizing it here?
I
What
don't-
about
I
the
don't
rest?
have any other no classroom teachers in here. It's a mixed bag of likes and dislikes, but I with anything, we got to get through it a year and see. I have some that love it and say this is great, and it's pushing them and it's challenging them, and then others that struggle with it. So yeah. Huh?
So we're not a fan of it.
Yeah.
Like, example, today's math paper is those cubes and underlines going backwards and frontwards, but it's like 3 problems on 1 page and that's it. Our old math, we would have had 10 frames. We would have had the problem we had to read and figure it out. We would have had like writing the tweeting. Like there was several different components on 1 paper, like with the old math, and they
They actually had to work it all.
yeah.
So
One part of it was like the sorting and the patterns. We spent way too long on that. It's how the book was, it's what we had to follow. It was just like, like these kids didn't know 10 frames and tally marks. We honestly just started number drawings, and I know years ago, we could be doing that back in the fall. Like they were way more ahead than what they are now.
What about the ECATs moving into 2nd grade? How has that went?
It's been utilized. It's been great. They got the training that they need, so they pull smaller groups. We've really put them on kids that need that kind of one-on-one or individual help. We've really utilized them in all areas actually. So.
And then the other thing we always like to ask when we're going around is we hear a lot about behavior at the elementary level and how challenging it is. as the years have progressed and the legislature's considering some action. I know they considered some things last year. What are you seeing here with that? Is that holding true here? Do you see a lot of behaviors, especially at the kindergarten level?
Yeah, if you look, I think they're my most disciplined kids. No, there's 3. I will say this for our kindergartners, we're seeing more that have not gone to pre-K, or that haven't gone to anything where they have had to, yes. So that's a lot of our issues. They don't know how to play with other kids. They
They
don't know
haven't
how to
learned how to line
share.
up yet?
I'm sorry?
Haven't learned how to line up yet?
No.
That's about the first thing you learn, isn't it? How to line up?
Yeah. But they don't know how to play. They don't know how to share. They don't know how to, they don't know their names. They don't know how to write. They don't know how to hold scissors. They don't know how to do, all of those things. And so.
Developmentally behind, like a year and a half, it seems like.
Mhm.
What percentage are like that of your kindergarten?
I would say half of our kindergartners did not go to pre-K last year. Wouldn't you think so? Yeah. Yeah.
So say, how many classes of kindergarten do you have?
We have 2, but they've got 22 each, so we've got 2. Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you see any significant disruptions in the regular classroom setting?
At times.
Okay.
At times, but
Do you feel like
it's
you
not
have
over the top here.
Okay.
I wouldn't say.
Okay.
I
Do you
wouldn't
feel like
say.
you have the tools here to deal with it?
Yes, I have Miss Ellis. She's our disciplinarian mostly. But yes, I do feel like I do feel like we do. Right now, the hardest thing that bothers me is their attitudes. Like they don't want to do anything. They don't want to work. Like
Kindergarten.
yeah, and even the older ones. Like we just sent a group from Beta to the nursing home, and there were 2 like, oh, do we have to go? And I'm like, what do you mean? It's that attitude, or we're standing on our heads teaching them and they're still bored, or we do fun things and they're still bored, and that's what bothers me, I think, the most. I could handle somebody throwing scissors across the room, but it's when they don't have the attitude, the want attitude, or the drive. That's what bothers me.
Total disregard for authority
Yeah.
across the board. They
Yeah.
don't care. I mean, they have no care what you say or what you. When you were a kid, a authoritative person told you need to be quiet.
We did it.
We were quiet. They'll just look at you now and talk loud. They don't care.
Mhm.
And that's a problem. I get it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was the discipline, but a lot of the behaviors that do lead to the discipline, something I've noticed a strong correlation just goes really high ACEs, scores, broken toe, parents, some, just a lot of tension at home.
A lot of dysfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes like they go back and forth between different people's houses and then don't actually know where they're going. They just know that they're like going somewhere.
And I don't have a full-time counselor, Mr. Alexander.
Just a little plug. This Friday's a little off of that, but we had 2 farmers Friday that said, Tony, they don't care for you. But they are with that mindset. I was like, do you not care that you're in trouble? No. I said, you don't care if you get in trouble at home, do you? And they have no fear. They just do not care. They think someone will just do whatever, talk to you or to another student, however, and it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
So what kind of intervention do you have for that type of student? Is there anything that
3 days,
What?
3 days a week.
Is that your counselor? Your
Yeah.
part-time counselor?
Yeah, we usually refer them to counseling, or they come up with me. We call mom, things like that. But a lot of parents, if they've got that attitude, then
Yeah.
we're getting
Because of
nowhere
parents.
too. So, and then that's when we're just
You still
treading
do
the.
that, the little, guide in the morning where they pick how they feel or.
Some of our younger group, they do that. Yeah.
Just wondering
yeah.
if that might, does
Some
that
of our-
seem to curtail any of that? Is it just that type of attitude?
It's yeah. Some of them just don't care. They just that's where we
Doesn't
are.
matter what you do.
They just don't.
That's,
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Well, is there anything that you need beside a counselor from us that we might be able to provide for support or?
I mean, I'll ask you again. We need a gym.
Right.
Ask every year.
Facility-wise,
You can see we've got mats and things and all of those things everywhere.
We passed the levy, right?
I know I know in the plans, I think, are we slotted for a new roof on 2-3?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's bad down there. It leaks a lot. And then the only other wish item would be, some type of parent trap or something here, but it's so, I don't know, it's oddly set up.
Formed,
So
yeah.
I'm not sure how we would do that. We do have this, which we keep it locked, but then again, it's hard, we think about if something would happen at any point.
Has anybody thought of maybe a design or, I know there's a lot of minds here and a lot of teachers, they have a lot of different ideas. Sometimes you can come up with something simple, don't cost all that much, it'll actually work. Get your heads together.
Yeah,
That's my
maybe
concern,
Rhonda
having
Wellman
man
back there
traps in
can
all the
design something
schools.
for us, so
You never
before
know
she
anymore.
retires. Just do. So yeah.
Rhonda coaches the robotics team. She reminds me of Nick Saban at the
Have I shown you the video of
at the
her?
competitions. I mean, she is all business.
Well, from teaching with her, has been all business.
Yes, for sure.
Huh?
You didn't do that,
Yeah.
I've been here for 39 years, and this building is newer than I am, but sometimes out there, actually, in case you hadn't noticed this conversation.
You put her up to it, didn't you?
I mean, I was down with this cell, and it's just, you all tell us what to do. I mean, there's got to be something, and with this few people, it's about to sit here, you get the whole cafeteria.
It's loud, and as a parent, I think that, kids get very little time to socialize. They can't do that because these places. If they're just talking a little bit, it sounds like they're all screaming, and then they have to just be quiet, and that's not, no one wants to spend their lunch quiet.
You think, like baffling or stuff on the walls, like nice designer carpet rug type thing, sometimes that'll absorb it. Yeah. You think that would help? She thought. Being an old art teacher, I can think about ways you can set up designs, make it work and fit in with the school colors.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that expensive until you get something better.
Till a ball goes flying.
And our roofing contractor has already been here, and I think he was coming back to cut out samples.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I don't know if he's been back yet or not, but yeah, that's underway. So we'll replace it
Yeah.
spring,
It just-
early summer.
Yeah, runs down the walls. And
Yeah.
It's like rusted out.
This is in the building down by the road.
Yeah.
Our own crews had replaced the roof down there, did some metal roofing probably 6-7 years ago. And it should have lasted a good 10 years, but it hasn't. So we're going to have to go back and redo it. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Anything else facility-wise?
Anyone else?
I can talk to you. We've got some like urinals and stuff that are about to fall off the wall.
Okay.
That, things like that. Everything seems to be properly working, but it's things like that that need
Permanently
reinforced.
replaced?
Yeah. If there's money for that.
Is it wear and tear of the unruly kids?
What's that?
Just wear and tear, not unruly kids.
Yeah.
That's what I was just saying, we had those water in our
Probably something wrong with the mixing valve. We can have it looked at. Anything else?
Nope.
Well, thank you. We appreciate all your hard work, and I know you deal with a lot, so thank you from all of us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Are you gonna give us a robotics? You're gonna give us a robotics demonstration?
She's gonna retire.
Oh, she's retired.
She's retiring on me.
I'm retiring.
She's correcting it again.
I mean, after having my kid, I kept on me. Yeah,
She's been threatening it since my 26-year-old was in 5th grade. So
well, she got threatened with her grandchildren.
I'm teaching up your name wrong.
I
Well, we can take a look at anything that you want us to look at.
Sure. If I would like to talk to you guys just alone in there and maybe off the record about some stuff. But yeah, if we could do that, that
Let's
would be
wrap this
great.
up and then
Sure.
do that. Any superintendent reports?
Yeah, at our next meeting, we're going to start looking at next year's calendar. Our first public hearing will be, I believe it's Tuesday evening. And then remember, we postponed the legal updates from the last meetings on any grievances. So we'll try to get that scheduled for next week as well. And then we're going to have the property action on the Fort Gay property we talked about, authorizing me to negotiate with the town for the town to assume control of that building. And then we'll also look at the Westmoreland property.
We had offers there.
Yeah. Then we have the construction manager for the Buffalo project. Will be making a recommendation for you. That's likely to come Tuesday evening as well. And then we'll do a budget projection where we are with the budget this year and what the numbers look like for the end of the year. I know we were a little bit more doom and gloom at the last meeting. I just want to give you a current update on where things are right now. That's all I have.
Motion to adjourn.
But I need a second.
I'll say.
Dennis? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. And it is 4:33.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you for joining us.
I believe you have to do that now. On YouTube.